Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to the Handicapable. And yes, I know I'm gonna have a Netflix video that I talk about a few Netflix movies, but I think one reason with the holidays and especially the Hallmark movie types or the stereotypical Hallmark movie, they're kind of getting on my nerves, but at the same time, I understand why, or actually, no, I am trying to understand why women like them. I understand why they enjoy them, but I don't understand at the same time with the pa- patriarchy and male dominance and things like that. Sometimes I just wonder, are we trying to be saved still? And when men say, it's your body, our choice, and or they will let us have whatever power they will allow us to have, and that a woman is not supposed to be the leader. I mean, I've been hearing so many things since the election, but at the same time, like when I watch the movie or the Hallmark movies, I'm not talking about one specifically, but I'm really seeing a pattern. And I don't know. It's just I don't know if you guys see patterns in these movies, and I mean outside of, because okay, here are the ones we mostly know of with these holiday romance movie types, is that there is a businesswoman who's dominant, who has all of this charisma, and or either she has like just a very strict personality gait, and it's like, so all of a sudden with her professional high paying or high positioning type of job, all of a sudden that she has to be sent to either a small town or her hometown, something that she has been trying to avoid for years. And sometimes there's a reason, but they never really get down to that reason. And part of me, sometimes when I watch these movies, I want to know that reason. Even with, okay, there was a book I read too. Yeah, I'm grabbing it, called Arsenic and Adoba. I just realized this. With Arsenic and Adoba, the main character, she left her small town to go and work in the big city because she wanted to go to culinary school and she wants to own her own restaurant and things like that. But then all of a sudden she got brought back because her no good man went and cheated on her, not with just a woman, but a couple. But then that's all the specifics they gave on that. I like, uh, I'm like, okay, no, I want to know more about that. And they kind of went over more about the oopsie, I committed a crime part. I wanted to know more on. I mean, they went a little bit into it, but they didn't go enough. And but at the same time, with the whole scope of the novel, it's that she had to come back home and work at the family restaurant. And there's, the murder mystery thing that had to be solved, and it's a series. And there's the romance. So it's like you have all the pieces of the puzzle of the Hallmark movie, and the author knows it. She mentions it. But one thing that I've really, really noticed is how with masculinity. Okay, I'm speaking not all that great right now. Masculinity and the patriarchy. You really start to see how a lot of the female demographic crave that. It's like some of them have the power positions and things like that, but they, for some reason, why do we enjoy when the woman gives up everything she's worked for? Especially when it took a lot more for her to get a seat at the table. when like a lot of women, a lot of us women know, some of you guys might not know, but uh, I know for even some of the positions and some of the jobs I've had. And it's like, even being an adjunct professor, I've had like a lot of times male students treat me with such disrespect, and or they lie about, oh, they lied on me so much. And part of me just looks at them and I'm like, wait until you get a job. Wait until you get a job. Reality is going to hit you real hard. But it's like a lot of people don't understand the things that women go through, and how if you get certain positions and certain jobs, especially younger guys, because yeah, I see the next generation of men, and like especially the incels, they hate when there's a female at the front of the boardroom, classroom, or anything like that, because that they don't think that should be. To them, that's the male's place. That's leadership up there. And so I I'm looking at these movies, and at the same time I'm looking at reality. And also, after I finished my first degree, I had a hard time finding a job because they said I didn't have the work experience. So then I went and started being a promotional model while going through grad school. And then I remember after I finished my first master's, all of a sudden it started switching. Now I'm overqualified. And I was shocked, and well, a little, like, I'm still a little traumatized by that, because part of me feels like, okay, was I only supposed to do half of a master's and drop out? What? And so when it comes to dating, and especially like I'm not fit for a small town. I've always wanted, chickens, like a chicken coop and different things like that, but not on a farm. I was like, well, if I can have a small, like a farm in the suburbs, fine. But normally that's the country life. I don't fit the country life. No, especially not in the red states. No, I'm not going. No, that's not safe for me. There are some states that are literally trying to allow hanging from a tree legal again. So it's like, or that's how they want to do the instead of execution, they want to do that. Yeah. So, okay, moving along, because yeah, some of you guys didn't know that. You need to look that up. And that's one reason why. Oh yeah, if you're new, yeah, I am the Handicapable Black woman, and my YouTube channel, it's messy. I combine and talk about a mixture of things, because especially when it comes to books, movies, and media, sometimes they come from the real life. Sometimes they come from the lives that either is trained for us or has been indulged, especially within the Christian community. I believe I know why so many like Christian women love Hallmark movies, because it's like the woman is being submissive and going back to the man. She is finding the man. She is not going, like, for some people, or especially in the Christian community, they tell me it's like, you're not supposed to settle with just a job. You're supposed to be a wife. That is what your mission and your first priority is supposed to be. So when I look at these movies and I keep seeing the woman like leaving everything she's worked for a man. But then when you look at reality, half these men hardly have jobs. And or the jobs they have, they hardly work, so they will never be promoted. So that means, like, if they want, it's like some of the men who tell me that they don't want me to work, and then I'm looking at their jobs, and sometimes I'm like, oh, so you want us to go hungry? You want us to go hungry. Okay, and I know I'm a thick woman, so it's gonna take a little bit more time for me to pat, like, oh, so yeah, he's probably gonna try to eliminate me so he has more to eat. But that's a horror movie. But yeah, you know how black people do in horror movies. But anyway, anyone. So I don't know. It's just really annoying and frustrating because I get the romance in it and I get the flowery, the and the whole Christmas spirit, but then even it's not just Christmas movies because the Arsenic and Adobe was not Christmas. And then even with there's this one series that Hallmark has and it's a murder mystery and it's like she used to be in all these soap operas, blonde hair, white woman. I forgot. I have no idea. I have no idea what her name is because I wasn't really allowed to watch soap operas when I was little because my mom said that people get addicted to them and the storylines and all this other stuff or whatever. But I know she was hardcore soap operas back in the day. But I know she owns a bakery and her mom is a real estate agent and it's like I one of her friends, high school friends, gets eliminated in the parking lot in one of them, and then there's a woman who she passes away, or she's eliminated in her bed in her house the night of a high school reunion. But yeah, I forgot what the whole series is called, but it's like each episode they make sure that there is a detective or cop that is her love interest and that they always bump into each other and that by the end of the movie either she's going to go on a date or they catch eyes and they have interest and it's like and then the mom's always trying to hook her up or get her to get her on dates and to meet people and the sister sometimes hints to her or tells her what to wear and what to dress to or how to dress in order to win the guy over and it's just so many movies that are basically showing how the woman needs to get the guy, earn the man, or run after the man. And again, the men out here in the real world, I I'm so happy I broke up with Mr. No Heart. I am so blessed I broke up with Mr. Lockakey. Mr. Lockakey kept stealing from his jobs. And Mr. No Heart, uh, the only goal he had was getting to the next mission in a video game. So, yeah. Yeah, there's so many thoughts that I have on just so many thoughts that I have, especially when with the male interest, they're always, handsome and they have a little sophistication and they're polite and nice. They're not trying to just take you home, do what they want to do is use your body and they don't want to just take you out to lunch or dinner because that's a payment for them to bend you over, etc., etc. Yeah, it's like these movies act like the men out there are just so amazing, polite, and wonderful. Last year, there was a guy who, I think last year, either late 2021 or last year. No, it might have been okay. Anyways, it was within the last year or two. That's all you need to know. There was a guy that I matched with on the dating app, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And it's like, remember, it's like I'm halfway retired, but it's nice when you think you found someone nice and cool and Democrat, and that they enjoy talking about either current events, politics, documentaries. Remember, I'm a full blown nerd. I am. And some of them anime, but a lot of them aren't into anime. It depends. And so we're talking and everything, and sometimes there was throughout 2 or 3 weeks we're talking like 2 or 3 times a week on the video call and 3 or 4 hours. Sometimes I'm creating one of my workbooks which I should be publishing soon. Yeah, I'm working on that. And or is like they were getting off work and different things like that or whatever. But he forgot to tell me that he is in a polyamorous relationship and that after the second date, he plans on introducing me to his girlfriend because he needs to make sure she likes me. And also, she has a boyfriend and he would be excited to meet me too. And that his girlfriend sleeps with her boyfriend, not him. And they used to sleep with each other, but then something happened. So now he's in his room, they're in their room. And, but yeah, yeah, and to me, it's like, okay, if you're poly, be poly. But that should be one of the first things you talk about. And also, that should probably be in your profile so that when you match with somebody, they're not thinking one thing. And then next thing you know, you're trying to convince them to be in a situation that they were not prepared to be in. So, yeah, just, you know what? Picture that as a Hallmark story. And you know what? With the Handicapable Black Nerd, I'm thinking that's going to be another series because I already have the fast food one. Oh, yeah. Guys, check out the Handicapable Black Nerd channel. I'm going to try to have more episodes on it. Trying to have an episode every day on here and finish the novel and get the greeting cards and the activity books and things like that up and ready. So yeah, life's been busy, but I'm determined to conquer my dreams and I'm not going to drop everything for a man, which is also watch my other videos. It's like I have a lot of screenshots of men with my because I have a list of standards. And I have those standards because after dating, I keep running into men who are either terrible with money or after they find out that I'm a hard worker and I'm saving, next thing you know, they try to either gaslight me, blackmail me, or whatever in order to get my money. Or they tell me, "You want a real man, right? You want me to be better. You want this, you want that. Oh yeah, well, it's like I need some money. I need this. I need. It's like you want me to have a better credit score and blah 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 blah." Yeah. So now I have it where you at least have to have some kind of investments. And a lot of these men are so close minded. And you know what I can say? They are so idiotic. They act like I'm saying they need to have hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you only have a couple hundred, at least I know you have a couple hundred. And I mean, and I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I still have student loans I'm working on. It's like it's kind of hard to find an amazing job and things like that when you have a disability and the people interviewing you judge you or like and yeah, let's just say ableism, sexism, racism. Yeah, I'm a triple threat at job interviews, let's just say that, especially with I have a higher chance of them saying an illegal question. Yeah, yeah, good times, good times. But it was like with the Prince Charmings, they're not Prince Charmings. They're not the detectives. They're not the police officers or the lawyers or the dentists that you read or watch in these movies and novels. They're not. Majority of these men they try to say you're beautiful and amazing just because they're trying to see how beautiful it will be to get you into bed. That's it. They're not trying to marry you. And so, watching these movies, I see why a lot of women are engaged to them, how they're entertained by them, because the men actually consider your feelings and emotions. They actually care about how you are at the end of the night. And that's one, sometimes I wonder, do catfish watch these Hallmark movies? Is that why they're so willing and able to gain our attention? Because they have learned how to draw women in. These movies attract so many women for the fact that a man is able to respect us and see more than just our bodies. They're able to have a conversation with us, possibly, or at least do an activity with us without thinking of what they're going to do with us later. Yeah, they don't have the anger, like, because a lot of them, there's no anger that develops or arguments. It's true communication. And so I think I'm going to cover this quite a lot, especially within some of my dating nightmares. I might turn those into the Hallmark movies, like the Hallmark movie nightmare or the Hallmark thrillers, because yeah, how would the scenario that I just gave you turn out to be a thriller? Yeah. Think would you guys like that? If so, please message me and comment, and subscribe, please. I don't say that in every video. Part of me feels like if I engage with you enough, I'll earn it. But then I know a lot. Sometimes you have to say it because it's not going to be on the top of your mind or whatever. But anyway, what do you guys want to hear more about? I have tons of more of screenshots. I have many more stories for dating nightmares. And yeah, with this Hallmark and the movie thing, it's really got me going, especially with the Netflix movies that I talked about during one of the last episodes. It's like this Keep Sweet one. Oh, that still creeps me out. And then the Woman of the Hour. That one. Who she did a great job directing that movie too. But with the person who was eliminating 103 women, he kind of shows how some men are, especially when they don't get their way at the end of a date. Because I've had that where I see it's not a match and it's like you're trying to get back to your car and he's like, "Oh, I'll walk you." It's like, "Oh, you don't have to." And they're determined to walk you to your car. And I've even had it where the guy walked me to my car, and so I drove off, and I was planning to not talk to him again. He took a picture of my plate because he wanted to see if he can look up my address. Yeah. This is what makes a lot of women go to the Hallmark movies, because we don't have we don't have the gentleman like in those movies. Those men are such fiction. And a lot of women, or I think a lot of men would love women to drop everything just for them. And I know the demographic is mostly for women, but I think men do enjoy, because my ex, Mr. No Heart, I still remember the night he told me, when my youngest daughter graduates high school, you're moving up with me up to Lake City. And I had to right then and there, I'm like, no, I'm not. And he turned his chair around. Oh, you should have seen his face. When you never wanted to be friends with me on Facebook, and okay, I'll tell the whole story another time, but these are the bullet points. Never wanted to be friends with me on Facebook. And then you take me to this, in my opinion, this no good racist city. It's like, and the people are staring at me so hard, where the oldest daughter is crying. And then she keeps watch over me the entire time to make sure I'm safe. And then your high school classmates walk up to you. It's like, he's probably never going to watch this, but just in case, I'm saying you. And you don't even introduce me. You just make me stand there. And they're just staring at me. And then I'm going grocery shopping with your mom, and someone comes up to her and she asks me if I'm to help. I can keep going. Yeah, I can keep going. But yeah, he wanted me to drop my jobs and my business ventures and everything like that to go and move up with him. I don't know. Like, I don't. His mom probably watched the Hallmark movies, but he got me twisted. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those. I would never. So anyway, but I'm gonna have a part two on this because yeah, when it comes to Hallmark movies, they're fiction, and especially the men. A lot of these men are like we. You see it with the election. A lot of these men are saying, "Your body, my choice." A lot of these men want us to be traditional women. They want the trad life because they want the traditional power. They want to tell us what to do. There's even the Republican red like alpha males who the wife has to ask permission to read a book. So while you watch these Hallmark movies, remember they are fiction. And also, I am going to have some fun with this because with the Handicapable Nerd channel, I'm going to do more fast food, like TV show series, but also I'm going to add on the Hallmark Nightmare series. But this is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.